Good evening.
How are you? Training at 5, I see.
I was scheduled for 5 to 6 training today, and I'm doing the same tomorrow. So that was fun.
Yikes. Is Cora's eminence imminent?
And as if by magic, she appeared.
That's my magic music.
Yo.
Yeah. The stream is activated. Currently on 8,000 viewers.
Nice.
Welcome.
Do you want to be famous?
The stream hosted himself.
You cut out loads for me then.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Internet might be.
Yeah, cut out again. I think it might be more your mic, maybe, because when you were speaking loud and clear, it was coming through. I'm wondering whether it's the sensitivity.
Or keep it very close to my mouth.
Yep, that was fine.
I've had several work calls with teams where the phone's been cutting out. Every time I speak, like, no, I can't hear you. No, I can't hear you. And I went, oh, fuck's sake. Oh, I heard that. And you're like, Shall we get straight back to it?
Let's Strahd.
So, if Bartandalus hasn't already told you, he has retconned his little solo thing. He suddenly turned up jogging next to the carriage and clambered back in.
While it was still moving. It's going so. I mean, I can run so fast catching that carriage.
Yeah, if you left in Barovia, I imagine you suddenly gain massive agility. Yeah, so Bartandalus changed his mind. So try and get back into the mindset and the emotion you were all in last time. Or pretend to be invested, Lindsay. And the carriage is pulling away from Ravenloft, sopping wet with rain from the sudden downpour. The tense parting words, well, I say tense, outright aggressive parting words near enough between Bartandalus and, if not directly Strahd, then certainly Rahadin and Anastasia, as you found yourself unable to contact Esmeralda.
Shenanigans. Let me double check straight off the bat as to whether I have the sending spell prepared. Saying that, don't take that long to get to thingy, does it?
Took you about an hour and a half to get here.
Considering we're all trying to be civil to Strahd, I'd say it's pretty bad etiquette of him to do all this behind our back
I
while
concur.
we're waiting in the other room for him.
Ravenloft is going to get like the worst score on TripAdvisor for me.
Yeah, 2 thumbs down.
Didn't you do something with your very last spell slot in dinner? Wasn't something you did, notably your "and I'm tapped" spell?
No. What? I turned up and then we'd had a full rest. Why would I be tapped?
Never know. Probably messaging loads of people or doing stuff.
No, but I know that when I was coming to dinner, I had an idea, and then I forgot to do it all the way through dinner. So I wanted to use my extract name on the new guests, and then I forgot to use it on any of them.
She even mentioned extract name.
Who did?
Didn't Anastasia mention the fact that you were playing your little tricks on all over the town? I thought she was talking about the fact that you were using that on people.
No, I mean, that's not...
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I don't know what that's in reference to.
Yeah.
But I mean, no NPCs don't know. Well, they shouldn't know
No, they don't.
when I've done it. So
Well, total names extracted like 1, so
Yeah, still got-
NPCs only know if you've tried to use extract name on them if there were also an NPC who's immune to Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness, completely different thing. What are you on about?
Your feature thing.
Oh right, okay, yeah, sounds about right. The one that I've never used.
No.
Me and Alex also realised on one of our dog walks that we literally just took everything they said at face value. Didn't try and interrogate the fact that they, were they lying to us at all.
Do you know the worst thing for me is that I don't think we actually asked why he brought us to Barovia. We found out that he did, and that he'd been watching us like forever, and we never went, why?
I remember him saying that he thought we had potential, but you know,
and we left it at that.
that was about it, really.
No, he said that
like,
one of us had
thanks.
potential, one of us was good, and one of us he didn't like.
Yeah, because of our recent actions, and obviously it's going to be you he doesn't like because you're shit.
Well, I don't like him, which I made quite evident.
You did.
As Cora says that, a single sob is heard from Ravenloft.
Look, Cora calls a spade. She's not going to put on any
Whoa.
bullshit.
Whoa, racist!
This is not that. This is not an appropriate
God.
platform for that sort of hate speech.
That just shows where the racism is in this group, then clearly, because that was not the intention.
Unbelievable.
There's apologize. Great, 7,999 viewers now. Well done, Cora.
Want to be famous for the wrong reasons?
Why are you implying that you only have one black viewer, Andy?
Wow, so people can only be offended by things like that if they... I really...
Wow.
You're becoming a bit of a toxic personality here, Lindsay.
Maybe I should just leave now.
So the carriage...
The carriage.
Being pulled by horses, by the way, Lindsay. Horses. Back towards the place where you left.
Decided against the visiting Mordenkainen then.
I mean, yeah. I figured in the event that he wasn't in, I didn't want to be left down here all on my lonesome. Be kind of foolish. But I figured at the time if he had been in, then he could have got us to the winery quick enough. I thought letting him know that we might have something of his was important enough to try and tell him, but I'll try and tell him another way. I thought we talked about heading to see Ismark, but I guess with everything that might have now happened, I don't know whether us rushing back up there is going to make much of a difference anyway.
I think our main priority's got to be seeing whether Ezra's still alive, right?
I would say so.
If she is, then great. And if she isn't, well, if she's not there, ain't gonna change much, is it? I don't think us getting back and it taking as long as it takes is gonna make much of a difference. We're just rushing back to find out one way or another.
I mean, we'll see. It could be any shade in between. Not everything is black and white.
Cora.
I hate you all.
Yeah. Bartandless is feeling stressed out from the whole event.
He was riled before.
He was
Very riled. Well, at least we know where we stand with him. I guess I don't know what this whole meeting was. Don't know why he wanted to see us. Other than to try and get us away from Esmeralda and the winery, but
That was my impression.
In
I thought that he
hindsight,
was
we
just
should
trying
have
to.
asked.
I thought he was just trying to divide and conquer.
I guess it's kind of flattering that he felt he needed to divide us.
From his.
Take some small solace in the fact that he doesn't want to kill us, at least not for many a year. He mostly wants to torment us and drive us insane. So at least hopefully that means we have time to act.
Yeah, I take solace in that.
A small comfort. Halvor spends his time wondering to himself what Valenta meant that when she said she wanted to keep him.
You know what she means.
Guess it was nice to have it confirmed that Ludmilla's still alive, or still undead.
Yes, she's indisposed. I wonder how much damage it really did to her to take her out.
I don't know. Never experienced vampire like what we're facing here. Back in the back, I never came across that many of them on my own anyway. You know, everything I know is from what I've heard growing up. It seems like the ones that we faced weren't exactly considered too highly from our recent meeting with Strahd and his people. And Paul will just drift off looking out of the window.
Maybe even Bartandalus.
Wow.
That's how rattled he is.
Did I slip up then, or was it on purpose? Have I converted back to the Dark Powers? Who knows?
Bartandalus can't get this job done.
The carriage at speed carries on.
Is that Valaki?
Enters Valaki at pace. This is Valaki as you emerge from the Svalich Wood.
Have we seen this before, or have we? I don't recall this
I
before.
normally go to the map quite quickly,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is the James RPG for it. Although I've also made it nighttime and raining.
Nice. Oh, have you added the ambient light on?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Pre-dancing lights. I need to see if I can do it again with dancing lights. Yeah, and you hear the occasional cry again from people in the town as they see fewer now at this time. The black carriage hurtling through the muddy main streets.
What time are we talking now? Like how long we were there?
Can you see the time on this map?
Oh, I can.
Showing, yeah.
Okay. Quarter to the hour of 11. Does that give us an hour and 15 minutes before the next day when Strahd comes for us?
Yes.
Okay.
He's just there at 23:59 checking his watch.
Pacing.
Oh, it seems like the batteries have run out on my watch. Let me check by the sun.
Okay. And so,
a time later, if people aren't feeling particularly chatty in character,
Not until we know what's going on.
you leave Valaki. Pretty much have pitch black outside the window once you hit the Svalich west of Valaki. And all is pitch black. Except the sound, well, pitch black up the windows and just the sound of the rain bouncing off the top of a carriage and the occasional snort of a horse. You feel the turning eventually and the very slight slowing of pace, which indicates that you are heading down towards the winery. Anything you would like to do before your imminent arrival at the winery?
Not me.
I think we're still decompressing from a very tense evening.
I feel like he thinks that there's something that we should be doing.
Cora, can you roll me just a standard D20, please?
Oh no, what should I have done?
Okay,
Hmm.
thanks. So the horses slow even more before coming to a stop altogether at the edge of the winery field where you got in earlier.
Can we see Ez's caravan from here? I don't really know where it would be relevant to this.
Do you know what? I was about to say I'll show you now. I really wish I'd just got like art of a burning building.
Everything looks fine.
Would we be able to see where the caravan would be from here?
You
I
would,
don't really
yeah,
notice
you would
that.
see the if you're facing the winery, the caravan would have been at about 2:00, and it still is as it is there.
Okay, cool.
Does the carriage just pull to a stop?
It does, and the door just slowly opens without a creak. Strahd's not some impoverished lord; he can afford WD-40.
Can we see any light or movement from the caravan?
From the caravan, no.
I'm going to jump out of the carriage and walk briskly over to the caravan and knock on the door and see if Ez is there.
I exit the the carriage, and I turn to the driver's seat and say, "Thanks, driver," and I'm going to head towards the winery.
Flip him a silver coin. I'm gonna. Is there lights in the winery?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna head over to the caravan first. And as I'm approaching, I will take out a piece of copper wire and I will gesture and whisper into the copper wire a message cantrip, kind of aiming it towards the caravan and say, "Ez, are you in there?"
As an aside, I'm fairly certain that's not how it works. I think you still have to have someone in mind, do you? I think is message one that requires line of sight, isn't that?
No.
Oh,
It says
cool.
if you are familiar with the target and know it's beyond the barrier.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, because it goes around corners and stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. No response.
Okay.
Cora's marched up and she's already knocking on the door.
You knock, and nothing.
I try the handle, is it open?
It is locked.
And heavily booby-trapped, as we remember.
As it's raining, can we see any recent footprints around there?
I will cast a light
I
cantrip as
really
well.
thought we were going to get like as it's raining, I don't think it would blow up. I'm going to go put my handle. I was like, as he's walked over, I was like, is this it? Is this the moment that the wagon explodes?
I will cast light and kind of like help.
You cast
Thanks.
Fireball, did you say?
I cast fireball. Yeah, by opening the caravan. Save myself a thing.
20th level.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can certainly call that light spell assisting Cora in her survival check as well. So yeah, the light casts a pale blue glow around and below the caravan. Cora, make me an advantageous survival check. You find several tracks nearby, one of which seems to head under the wagon and then emerge again. Through gauging the sizes and the numbers and the age of the prints, despite the rain, you establish that these are the tracks of when several members of the party approached the wagon a few hours earlier, and it does not look like anyone's been near it again since.
Okay. Bartandless, doesn't look like anyone's been here for a long time. Shall we see what's going on in the winery?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go head out there quick.
We make haste to the winery. Da-la-la-la-la.
Okay. Let me just add your tokens back on.
I want to, as I'm... Oh, let me check if I've got it prepped. I do have it prepared. Oh, let me see if I need to have line of sight on this one. Oh, yeah, sorry, it's a creature you can see. Never mind.
I don't know why Cora keeps going on upside down when I put her tokens on.
He's Australian.
Ugh.
Goodbye!
Okay. I have added each of you to the map. Which entrance do we seek to go into the winery by?
I don't have no map.
Oh, but I've not activated the map, which would be helpful. Be loading
That's how-
for you now.
Mm-hmm. That's how they're already headed in.
I've put the three of you next to the wagon.
I believe Halvor went straight to the winery. Didn't come with us.
Okay, which door were you going to, Halvor? Oh, Halvor is still loading.
That's my.
I was heading to whatever would be considered the main entrance.
That would be the main entrance.
That would be.
Thank
polite to
you
go
for
in
that
way.
detail.
As you will recall, I'm sure, there are
Mm.
no fewer than 4 entrances and exits to this.
The one that's got the workshop on the right, I would presume, is the normal main exit, not the one through the stables. Through the cargo loading area.
The one next to the cargo loading area is the most front-facing one. You then also have the one next to the outdoor sort of crushing vats under the veranda. You have the one on the side opposite the outhouse. And you have one in the back opposite the glass blowing room and the doors down to the stairs down to the basement. And you also have, if you go in via the loading bay, a side door that takes you into the wine room.
I think from the look of what we can see, if we were at the caravan, we'd just go into the one that was on the west wall, right? That would be the closest.
Well, can you all see your tokens?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll also just move then.
Oh, I would have gone round. So the road is over here. I think I would have gone in this way.
Oh, would you? Would we have?
You went to the wagon. That's absolutely
Yeah, we
fine.
went to the wagon.
It is
I
not a
thi-
problem if you're wanting to have gone in different ways.
I don't think we would. I'm presuming we'd have gone to go where Halvar was.
If Halvar was the other way, then we'd have gone where Halvar was.
Yeah.
Do I recall that the door in front of me is a stable or a door into the actual building itself?
I don't know. Do you recall?
Yes.
Then act on how you remember.
Where's he gone?
He's gone inside.
The
Well, we don't know.
The
We don't know.
authenticity of Foundry.
Yeah.
For some
Door is not
reason,
within Cora's reach.
yeah, me neither.
Some reason what?
I can't open the door.
Why?
It says it's not within my reach, even though I'm as close as I can be to it.
That's weird. Does it say the same for you, Cora?
Yep.
Even though
Which one?
you just opened it.
I've opened it. I can open it.
Okay, but I'll need adjusting. Oh no, Halvor's opened that one.
I can open this one. I couldn't open the other one.
Very weird.
My Foundry's been doing weird things. So like I was pressing C before and my character sheet wasn't opening, and
That very
Yeah.
occasionally happens. A relog normally fixes it.
I still have light cast, obviously, which is why we can see.
I don't need no light.
You don't have dark. Do you have dark vision?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you not need? No, you don't need any light with dark vision, do you? We catch up to Halvar by the look of it.
Yeah, as you go in, Halvor, and open the door, Adrian is sat at the workbench, shaping, sorting out bottle labels, and jumps very much out of his skin for a moment when the door cracks open, and he instinctively grabs for a bottle for a moment before
He's
relaxing.
gonna bottle us.
Before relaxing and just how did you creep up so well?
I'm sorry, I have a surprisingly high dexterity. I'm sorry for surprising you, but is Esmeralda around? Have you seen her recently?
Not since everybody headed to bed, but I can't sleep, so I thought I'd get a bit ahead of the day's work tomorrow.
Fair enough. Do you know which room she has taken?
She's in with the girls upstairs. First bedroom.
I hate to disturb them, but we heard that something bad might have befallen onto her, so I think it's best we check.
I don't see it being a problem. Just try not to wake up Stefania's baby.
You haven't heard or seen anything strange?
Now I've been down here about an hour and a half.
Very well. I'll bid you a good night. I imagine we'll be asleep once we know Esmeralda is safe.
Do you need me to come with you?
No, I'm sure it's fine. You go ahead and
I'll
keep
come
working.
anyway. Stefania and Muriel up there. And he just grabs a large pair of tongs off the workbench and looks disconcerted.
DM.
Yes.
It is at this stage I would like to cast a sending spell. I will have to cast it at level 4.
Very sent.
Sent so hard. And I am going to send a message to Esmeralda saying, "We're back from Ravenloft. We're heading upstairs. Hope you are there. Hide the child if you can. Not long.
Okay.
Hope you're okay." That was 23.
All the
Okay.
best. Lots of love, Barty.
24. I'm taking upstairs to be two separate words.
Cool. Wow. Does she reply?
She does not.
Are we upstairs now?
I'm just looking to see which staircase you're going up so I can move your token.
A barrel slide.
As you try to go up it, a number of hobbits and shaky GoPro cameras.
Da-da-da-da-da. Speaking of which, there is a module that you can place a square wherever you want, and we'll teleport from it to any location you
Yeah.
desire, including on other maps.
Many people are using it. I don't like it. I've avoided it from day one with how bloody Chip's challenge you lot are with moving your characters around the maps.
How rude.
He was being polite. By you lot.
You people.
I will go at the back. I'll let Cora go in front of me. Has she gone making a cup
Cora?
of has she gone making a cup of tea?
Yeah.
Jesus, just left behind.
Nope, not that door. Is it this way, Adrian? I can't remember because apparently I'm retarded.
Yeah.
That's not really nice. Adrian's we can cut through the dining room, but otherwise, yes, we'd go around the veranda road. You heard loud snoring coming from this door, by the way.
He said the first one, right?
I thought we were coming from the other way. That's...
Halvor tries to progress stealthily.
Okay, make me a stealth check. Is Bartenders trying to stealth?
No. I mean, I suppose I am if I start seeing Halvor creeping. Yeah.
That was going to dictate. Adrian knows his own home. He knows the floorboards, which ones creak. He doesn't even really need to make much effort to do it, but it doesn't matter because there's Halvor. Clunk, 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 clunk.
I can't remember whether I get disadvantage on. I don't think I get disadvantage on stealth with half plate. Or do I? It's been a while since I've done a stealth check. Just let me double check. Plate 5e. Disadvantage stealth. Yep. Clonk, clonk, clonk. So as I said, no, I am not going stealthily.
Okay.
Which was the printing press room? I suppose if I can't remember, I can't remember. Although it was about 2 years ago that I went there. Aha. Okay. Whilst we're here, I am going to quickly dip in, because this is where I found the chest, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
The box with thing. I'm going to... And I think I stashed the staff in here. Wrapped in the thing.
You did.
Is it there?
It is.
I'm having some big movement issues. I think I'm going to have to log out and log back in.
Okay. It is still there.
And I will look to see if the other items, such as Strahd's tomb and my bag of holding. Actually, the Strahd's tomb was in my bag of holding, so is my bag of holding there?
It is.
Then I will pick up my bag of holding. I'll leave the staff there for now.
Before you take your bag,
Oh,
there is a single coin resting on top of it.
what? I pick up the coin and hold my light to it and examine it.
It is an electrum piece. It looks to be weathered and old, and it is stamped with the likeness of Strahd.
Sweet. Free money. Huh. I will open up the canvas that the staff was wrapped in and check that the staff is actually still in there.
It is.
I'll wrap it back up. Concerned. And as I'm walking out, I'm gonna reach into the bag of holding and think about the code, the Strahd's tomb, and see if I can summon it into my hand.
You can.
Okay. And then I'll look over and say, Strahd or someone's been here. I found this, and I'll flick it towards Cora, the coin.
Cora catches it with amazing dexterity and skill.
Nice.
What did you roll on that d20 before, Cora?
3.
Okay.
Clink, clink, clink.
That means Cora doesn't do that.
Adrian just looks livid. And sorry, I'm just shocked that you're mentioning that Strahd would not have been here. I would have heard him. The birds would have gone berserk.
Well, someone's been here because they've left that coin on all our things. And that coin weren't there before.
Alvor is going to try to, as quietly as possible, open the door. Cora just runs in and starts shouting.
I don't know
No,
why
she-
the...
Yes!
I rolled a good stealth check, thank you very much. Better than yours.
So you hear soft breathing in this room. Cora, you would immediately see there are 2 sets of bunk beds, large bunk beds, one on your right, one on your left. So, one in front of you. The one in front of you, you see a young child is asleep in the bottom bunk, maybe just under 1 year old. You gauge this to probably be Stefania's child. In the bunk above is Muriel, facing away from you. To your right, Stefania is on the bottom bunk, and Esmeralda is asleep on the top bunk. All 4 women, well, all 4 people are breathing as in a deep sleep.
I'm
You
gonna
see
go in.
actually as well, Ez's leg actually propped against the bed.
She's here. Let's leave.
Do you not think we should speak to her and see what she knows?
No. I think I can wait until morning.
Maybe it's an enchanted sleep. Maybe she'll sleep forever.
Well then, she will, won't she?
Yeah, let's wait till the morning to find out.
Okay. Come on, stop being creepy. Get out.
Imagine Cora's been saying all of this, but while she's been lent over Muriel.
I'm gonna kind of like crane over and try to see whether Esmeralda has the child with her or anything.
Make a perception check with disadvantage. Unless you are torchlighting around this room, of course.
I mean, I still have the light in my hand, but I won't have it like kind of like out and like illuminate everything. I've kind of like, I guess I've got it kind of like gripped, so I've got a illumination for me, not for being, like shine it in her face to have a look. So yeah, disadvantage still is fine.
Okay. You can see that she has nothing with her in the bed. Certainly not any sort of baby.
Certainly not any kind of baby, but she has something. Door not within Bartandless's reach. Whatever.
I don't know
Can you
what's going
want?
on with doors.
I look to Adrian and say, "Where was Lucian staying?"
What?
Father Lucian?
Oh, God, not Lucian. Caspin.
Don't have a whole reason you're here. God.
Well, I know.
He's in the next room. With my brother and where I'll be later.
Running a train. So next room's in this one. Okay. I'll kind of like walk in. Adrian's in here already! Ah! It's Strahd! And I cast Fireball on fake Adrian. Fadrian.
My
Okay.
bad. My bad. I had tokens for them on each floor, but I didn't think about one moving up to another floor.
So I see him, yeah.
But
I'm gonna walk.
I'm asleep in bed.
I walk over, and do I see the baby with Caspin?
Make the same roll.
Is he on a top bunk or a bottom bunk?
Top bunk.
Still on top bunk, okay. I mean, kids always sleep on the top bunk, don't they?
Royalty. Sleep on the top bunk.
Yeah.
You see next to him, lying in its back with a bit of blanket underneath, is the baby. Seeming to be asleep, but as you look at it, its eyes are just wide open and just fixed on you.
Woo! Does it have its dragon plushie still?
It does.
Okay. And I will kind of quietly, under my breath. Well, I guess I don't think I can whisper spells. I'd need to be a sorcerer to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say, Indianis Barusani. So hopefully not so loud that everybody's going to wake up, but you never know. And I will make some kind of like twinkling lights on the ceiling above it, kind of like a night light.
Okay.
And that should last for 1 hour.
Okay.
Does it take its eyes off me and look to the thing?
It does.
Okay. And I look over to Adrian. Say, can you shut this door? It's not within my reach. What?
Roll a door stealth check.
Yeah. I do that as I go into the room next to the baby. Seems like everything's fine.
So Strahd lying to us.
I mean, he's been here. He's found our things, knows what we're doing.
I can't remember how he actually phrased what he said about Ez.
Me neither. Wish I'd taken better notes.
I wish he'd taken better notes too.
Damn me. Damn me all the way to hell. So what now?
Do you think we should have someone stand watch, or do you think we're safe to go to bed?
I'm planning on staying here. I'll stay in the corridor.
I can remain with you if you like. I couldn't sleep anyway.
It looked like there was a window. Is it a window on the other side or a door on the other
Is
side
it-
of the room?
There's a window out of each room overlooking the vineyard.
Maybe the corridor is not the best place to have this conversation, everyone.
I'm gonna stay here anyway. If people want to do shifts, then that's fine, but I'm gonna stick around for now.
How much sleep do you have to miss before you're exhausted?
I don't know. Let's wait and see, huh?
And Bartandless will sit down on the floor with his...
Adrian carries out carefully 2 wooden chairs.
Ah, thanks.
Adrian, is there somewhere that we can bed for the night? No, all the beds are full.
He steps into the
The barn.
kitchenette area. We didn't know you were coming back here tonight, so we haven't got the split room arrangement we did earlier. You could sleep in your wagon or on the floor in here, or I could give you a couple of blankets for the stable.
The floor is fine. I will gather my things, and I have a bedroll that I can use.
I think I do as well.
And I will re-equip all of my shit, assuming it is here.
Where did you leave it?
Just in the house, so somewhere appropriate. I
Depending on where
imagine
you
with
left
Barty's shit.
Davy, you'll find it on the bottom step of the stairs as Davian's found it around the house, and his signal for someone to put it back where it should be is to leave it on the bottom stair.
Of course, I gather it from there.
And so is the night going to be spent in shifts outside the room?
Yeah, can I also station Norris on the windowsill to alert me if he sees anyone moving outside?
Of course.
Halvor declines doing a shift.
Cora will take the second shift of the night.
I'm going to stay awake for the entirety of it.
If you're staying awake anyway, then Cora won't bother.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Exhaustion.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Am I going to get exhaustion after one non-night sleep?
Yes, at the start of the next day. I've clarified this recently. Skipping a night's sleep.
Okay, I remember you saying it for when we got KO'd and brought back up.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't.
that too. Or in fact, I don't know, look, Cora slept that off, didn't she, at the start of this day?
So not sleeping is going to give an automatic exhaustion.
Missing a full night's sleep, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Which I think shows the hobby has been, the rules have been written by a load of non-parents.
that's fine for me. I think I am more concerned about the child waking up and people finding it's here. So I would not wait. I'd say like, yeah, I'll do shifts, and then I just wouldn't wake anybody up.
Very well.
So there are things that I would like to do
Well, before
during.
you do, give me 20 seconds to turn my heating off before I melt. So 20 seconds and then we'll hear your things. I am back. Tell me things you want to do while I drink my Capri Sun, because I'm a big fat man-child.
Nothing wrong with that. So I am going to kind of like look to Adrian and say, "This might be a bit of a mess, but don't worry, I'll clean it up." And I am going to, one by one, gross. I'm going to empty all the items that I am aware. Well, actually, do you know what? I'm going to, because I want to do it quietly. So I'm going to like empty all the items that I'm aware of in my bag of holding. So I'm thinking of them all. Kind of, I'm bringing out like all the heads and stuff and kind of like laying them out in front of me. I'm like, might be better if you don't look at this bit. And kind of like just got. I've got so many heads, DM. I've got so many heads.
To be fair, aren't the heads all in the gore bag, which is a separate container within the bag of holding? They're not just loose dropping around.
Well, I mean, unless it's more like a gore sack, it's like the gore bag was just my way of dividing up all the different stuff. I didn't think it was in a separate bag. Like I'm getting out a sack and putting them in there, and then putting the sack back in.
Yeah, organisation.
Sure. Well, no, that's not the intention. It was just so that I had everything that is in a sub container. It's just in the bag of holding because there would be no point of putting it in. So I'm kind of like laying them all out. It's like a little bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a trip down memory lane. What shit we've done. And so I'm gonna one by one, because I don't want to just like upend it. I'm gonna bring the last item that I think of when I think that's all the items that I can think of. I'm gonna turn the bag of holding inside out, which I believe spills out anything else that was in it. So I'm kind of like taking the bits of money out. I'm going to put them in like little containers and like in little bags and stuff like that. So I'm just going to see if there's anything else been put in here or was ever in here, because I've never actually turned this inside out before, to see if anything comes out.
Nothing comes out.
Okay. Then I will systematically, one by one, put all the items back in. I would like to use Sending as a level... Oh, Christ, what am I at now? A level 4 spell.
Remember to be clicking to cast it as well. So
Yeah.
on the chat
Yeah.
use the slot.
Yeah, I'm doing. There you go. Boop. And I'm going to send a message to Mordenkainen saying, it's Bartendless. Or Poe. Can't remember what you know me as. We're at the winery near Yesterhill. We found your staff in Berez. Meet me. That's 25. Do I get a reply from Mordenkainen?
You do not.
Okay. So I'm putting all the items back in, and then I'm going to take out the codex, get Angelo on my shoulder, and then I'm going to read for the rest of the night Strahd's Tome for 8 hours. And I have to roll investigation, I believe.
You do.
Okay.
Let me have a look here. What do we have a total of there? Let me just refer to my resource and make sure it's not something you've already deciphered. Where are we? Tome of Strahd.
Did you give us a copy of the stuff from the tomb again? The tome, sorry.
Inside the tome, you should.
Oh,
have
yes, you
a
did.
link to a Google Doc that I now added to.
Nice.
Oh shit! Available on World Anvil. Oh, I think it's because the better version of the tome is... Yeah, you've got the out-of-date version in your bag. I'm going to delete it and add in a version that doesn't link to my Dead World Anvil, but instead leads to Google.
Where is it in my inventory?
Inside books not read, because it isn't.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Makes sense. Because I've not yet finished reading it. Are we classing Forbidden Secrets as something I've not read?
Pardon?
The Forbidden Secrets of the Sisterhood? I thought that was just my general way into onomancy. Or is that just an ongoing thing while I'm leveling up?
Yeah, it's obviously the wrong one.
Okay. It's a good one, DM.
Let me share it. There's a good roll.
Where is this link coming in? Oh, Christ, okay. Has that cut half of it off? It just starts at I cannot be sure. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so it's a little paragraph. Okay, cool. Woohoo!
I've added back to the Google Doc.
Nice.
And that will bring you to early morning
And a point of exhaustion.
and a point of exhaustion.
Trip to the Amber Temple, anyone?
I'm assuming Mordenkainen didn't turn up at any time soon today.
He
In
did
the
not
evening.
during those 8 hours.
He's busy. He's got more important matters going on. However, out of curiosity,
Oh, how did it suddenly turn back to night?
it hadn't changed today for me.
Oh, I changed it, but I didn't click save. That was it.
I kind of like been embroiled and kind of caught up in reading the book, and I'm like, huh, that's a good time. And I, for a moment, think, and then I go and check on the staff. Is the staff still there?
It is.
Okay. Just checking out, come and done a sneaky on me and left a little coin with Mordenkainen's face on it. As first dawn breaks, I am going to, before everybody starts rousing, I'm going to go and wake Esmeralda up. I'm going to kind of creep in.
He's a practice creeper.
Hello, Esmeralda.
Ah, do the creep. Ah.
Do you want to roll a stealth check?
If you're trying to, well, I presume you're trying to avoid waking the others up.
Yeah.
So yes.
Okay. Do they have like -5 or something because they're asleep? I think on perception you have a default -5 or something.
If you're sleeping, yes. Stefania keeps snoring away. Well, likely sleeping away, but you see Muriel just sort of was facing the door now anyway, and her eyes just like quite slowly open and her eyebrows sort of go for a second, but when she sees that you're like over, presumably about to or talking to Ez, and just gives you like a nod and a soft grunt.
What do you think I was going to do? I start masturbating over his sister while she's asleep or something. Fortunately, he only talked to Esmeralda. Because before that point, I didn't know what he was going to do. So I start masturbating over Stefania. What? I will nudge Esmeralda.
And she starts for a moment, and then smiles slightly. Good morning. What is it? Rubs at her eyes.
We're all back. I'm going to go and wake Caspin up and get the boy. You alright putting him back in the caravan before everybody starts waking up and asking questions?
Of course, yes. Did you have a good night?
It was... Bling! It was, eventful. I'm glad you're alright.
Yes, it's fine. I just tired.
I'll go and get the boy.
She stretches, and you immediately notice the slight bite marks on her neck.
Shut the fuck up.
Just 2 puncture marks on her neck.
She does?
Small dots, yeah.
Ah.
What happened last night?
What? Oh, Strahd came. We spoke for a while. I think he came in the carriage before you went. But and you see Muriel just like sit bolt upright, looking over. We spoke for a while, and he had to get back because obviously you were coming for dinner. But yes, we just spoke for a while when he left. I'll get the baby now for you, all right? Just give me a
No.
moment to put.
And I kind of thought out.
What?
He bit you?
Oh, yes, but he hadn't fed for so long, he said, and obviously he wouldn't be able to really partake of what you were going to eat at dinner. So it seemed the least I could do.
I back up a little bit, and I'm gonna get a coin and start. I'm gonna just roll a copper coin around, and Arius Miota, and I will cast Detect Thoughts on Esmeralda.
Her surface thoughts are entirely conversational. She's tired.
Yeah. Oh.
Next bit sore.
We're going deeper. We're going deeper.
So what's that? She needs to make a will save, was it?
It's a wizard, so it will be it says spell DC 15 against wisdom. Let me double check.
Okay.
There's a lot of text on this one. What the fuck is it? Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw coming up.
DC 15.
9. Okay, what are you prying for?
Did you let him bite you on purpose? And that's what I'm looking for. I'm kind of like leading the conversation as I'm looking to see what the fuck went down.
Her thoughts turn to like, well, he asked. It was a reasonable request. He's a friend after all. It seemed I saw no harm in it. It's just a bite. He needs to feed. He gets to feed so rarely.
So it says, if it fails, I'm just reading you the text, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates.
She is not worried at all. She's given me information she's just given you. Very calm, very conversational. Her thoughts are very, very slightly increasing slowly by the moment, concerned for you and your behaviour. She sort of swings her leg off the edge of the bed and starts fastening on her prosthetic as she's showing. Morning, Muriel.
I will put my hand to my symbol of the Morning Lord, my amulet, and may the blessing of the Morning Lord protect you and cast out all that is evil inside you. And I will make a gesture and put my hand on it, and I will cast protection from evil and good. This protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attacks, blah, blah, blah. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. If the target is already charmed or possessed by such a creature, the target has advantage on any new saving throw against the relevant effect. So I don't know whether that would prompt any charm breaking if she has been charmed.
Okay, doke. 1 second, I can hear my son coming down. One second. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Okay, yeah. Cool. That is cast out, and she looks over you. What is the matter with you?
And sorry, just let me make sure I cast these spells to use my spell slots, since I got no rest. And I also cast Detect Thoughts, didn't I?
You did.
Okay, 1 sec. I look at Muriel. I say,
Just keep her in here for a moment.
and I look at Esmeralda and like,
Stay here.
What
I just pop my head back around and say,
Stay here.
and I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go wake Caspin up. I'm gonna go straight in. Is he here with Child still?
Yeah, he's still asleep. Child
Okay.
is awake and his eyes on you again.
Okay. I mean, I have seen the child sleep before, haven't I? It did sleep last time.
Yes.
Well, it wasn't. Okay. I'm gonna kind of slowly, but a bit more urgent and like in a bit of a rush, kind of like wake him up. I'm just striding through here. I'm not like trying to creep through or anything. So I'll wake up Caspin. Caspin,
Yes. So, yes.
Look,
Yes, hello.
something's happened. I need you to stay in here for as long as you can. Keep the baby calm. Keep the baby quiet. Stefania's next door if you need any help. But don't let the others see that he's here, okay?
Of course. Of course.
Okay. And without anything else, I'm straight out and going finding the others, and I'm like straight in, like, wake up now. Both of you, wake up. Like a bit of a, not an aggressive, but like a bit of a foot nudge to Cora as I'm walking past, and then straight over to Halvor to wake him up.
Oh, yeah. Good morning.
Strahd was here last night. He spoke to Esmeralda. He's bit her. She let it happen, by all I know.
What? I don't.
I'm already back out. That's all I know.
Halvor, see what's going on. What's going on with him?
As he says that you were with Strahd last night.
Yes, like I said. He came to speak.
And it's your ultimate goal is to kill him, yes?
He's not. He's not unreasonable. I think perhaps maybe once that was my goal, but the more I think about it, he hasn't really done all that wrong.
I turn to Bot Handless. Is there any way of telling whether she's under the influence?
I don't know. I've done everything I think I can.
You don't have fantastic spells that can get rid of such things?
I just tried to
Get rid of
Yes.
what such thing?
cast a protection from evil on her, but doesn't look like
Esmeralda.
it's so much.
Vampires are famously tricksy and have the ability to convince people of things they do not truly believe.
Yes, I know
What-
that. I've been hunting them all of my life.
And if one was to exert its will on someone in such a way, what would you do to help that person?
Normally, time just passes, or there are certain spells that can aid with clearing the mind, but why? Who needs help?
I give her a slap across the face.
Give me an
Just to be clear,
give
I'm
me
not.
an initiative.
I'm not looking to like knock her out.
yeah, I'm sure, but I still want an opposed initiative because she's pretty feisty. I always forget how to manually do from a character sheet as a
You can't.
Can you not as the DM on an NPC?
I don't think so, unless you're using. I think Tidy 5e character sheet lets you do it, but I had to do it manually.
How'd you do it manually?
I just typed in the numbers.
Oh, fair enough.
I feel like she'd be considered surprised.
That's true. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, we'll go with her definitely being surprised by your sudden assault.
Not that surprised.
She tries to lean back a bit, but you still manage to catch her. Not with a full face slap you're hoping for, but a clearly aggressive, hard swipe across her chin. And
Snap out of it, Esmeralda.
she kicks back from the top bunk for a moment. What in blazes is wrong with you?
I turn back to the others. We need to fetch Davian. He might be able to help with this. Not Davian. Yes, Davian. Not Damien, but Davian, you know?
Yeah. The useful one.
We say when Damien is not in earshot.
Who's Damien?
Isn't he the young one?
Adrian, Damien.
Oh, Adrian. I was thinking of Adrian. Adrian.
Is Cora going for him? She moved and then didn't move.
Yeah, I don't really know where I'm going.
To his room. It's next to where you were sleeping, where the snoring was coming from. And I sit on. Are these chests or
Yeah,
what?
little footlockers.
I just kind of slump down on one, head resting against the wall.
Is Davian awake when I go in?
Not even knocking, boom, straight in.
No, I'm just going straight in.
Put your cock and balls away, pal. I'm coming in. He just
Nice, I must have
sleeps.
snatched it.
Sleeps naked, spread eagled on the top of the covers in this
Oh.
warm Barovia heat.
Well, he's up. He's not in bed anyway. He's
His
on a
window,
rug.
yeah, his window's open, and there's quite a lot of ravens are sort of perched around in this room, and he's stood there with what looks to be like a handful of crumbs, feeding birds, sat on his desk, and he just turns to you and is like, "Oh, Knock
Davian,
him, man.
I'm sorry, Davian. I've been somewhat distracted by the events which have been unfurling further down the corridor. It would seem our friend has been somewhat enchanted, perhaps, by Strahd himself. I don't suppose you have any way to help with such a situation?
Well, not going for bloody dinner with him in the first place would have been my advice, but...
She didn't.
Eh?
It was our friend who didn't accompany us who has.
He's out the door.
Well, I can't see because Alex has got my character sheet up.
While you know, no, I'm gonna hold off for a minute.
He's a sprightly little sod, this one, isn't he?
He is.
He misty steps. He blinks down the thing. And puff.
He just sort of move, you great big lug, to Halvor in the doorway. Sort of comes back and straight away he's like, to Muriel, and are you and Stefanian all right? Yes, we're fine.
I will go over and have a look at Muriel. Let me check.
She just grabs her hair back and turns her neck pointedly both ways.
I'm kind of like looking and like,
Stefania's just wakes up and there's like 8 people in her room.
oh, she's counting herself. That's nice. And wrongly. Oh, she counted the baby. Nice. That's what she did. She counts the child as baby as a person. Right. Do I see anything on Muriel?
No.
And then I'll kind of like skid over down to one knee. Sorry about this. I can't be bothered even trying to explain it. I'm just gonna kind of start looking, like moving her hair to one side and having a look around.
She looks like frozen, but you can tell looking at. She can see there's enough going on that something is afoot, and just kind of allows it.
Anything there?
No.
And I kind of just palm on her cheek. I'm like, sorry about that. Morning long blessing on you. And then just kind of just stand up, getting behind Davian. He seems to be in charge now. Until Modern Kynan turns up. What?
So he looks her up and down and asks her name and asks about Strahd, and she just repeats very conversationally what she said to you freely. Your detect thoughts will still be running, I'm guessing, through all.
Oh, it's only. Is it an hour? Or, I can't remember. It's an hour or a minute. Let me double check. I don't think it's that long. I don't think it's an hour. It is. Lasts 1 minute.
Oh, okay. So yeah. She didn't betray anything during that time, other than just confusion at your behaviour and on why you thought she was being unreasonable. She almost seemed a bit insulted.
Even her deep thoughts.
Even her deep thoughts as well were
Interesting.
on your behaviour being unusual.
Interesting.
Davian very quickly just sort of stops talking to her and just turns to you, charmed. Totally charmed.
We figured.
Not many ways to sort of matter other than letting it run its course.
What's the details on the charm breaker that Cora has?
This ring's tiny chains rotate slowly when you're around your finger when worn. Whenever you're affected by a spell that restores hit points, such as Cure Wounds or Healing Word, you can use the reaction to attempt a saving throw against enchantment spells already affecting you. Shatter Enchantment. When you're targeted by an enemy enchantment spell or fail a saving throw against one, you can use your reaction to weaken the arcane chains of the enchantment on you and other allies within 10 feet, causing you and nearby allies to roll the enchantment saving throw with advantage. Once you activate this feature, it can't be used for 1.4 days. 1d4 days.
1.4 days.
That's very precise.
We'll let the DM track the 1.4.
So it sounds like it's only if you're being attacked by a spell.
The first bit sounds like we could give it to her, cure wounds on her.
Bit meta.
Yeah, and also she'd have to attune to it, which would take at least an hour.
And that in itself's not the problem, but I think like I'm now going to cure wounds you to trigger it would just be weird. So if there's no initial benefit to her being it having any effect once she's charmed, then I guess there's no point. Because like unlike the protection from evil and good, you get advantage on saves against being charmed, and if you are charmed already, then it has a different effect. So if this doesn't work similarly, then it's not really going to do much.
Are we just going to sit around here? I'm starving.
Well, I guess we might as well have breakfast if there's nothing else we can be doing.
Thank you. Finally, someone speaking sense. She swings her legs off the bed.
Her leg, you mean?
No, she'd fastened the other one on.
Oh.
Has she got? I thought it was rested against the bunk.
I imagine she's hooked it over. She's not going to be leaving it somewhere it's hard for her to get to each night. She's going to put it.
Well, I would have presumed it jumping off with some grace, like landing the stump in it as she jumps off with like a hands up in the air, gymnastic 10 points type thing.
I totally missed that she only had one leg.
When?
The whole time. This is the first I've heard that I've recognised that she's had one leg. I must have just missed it.
How do you keep doing it?
I don't think that you've actually mentioned this, because when we discovered it was only Poe that knew, and then I think you told me about this at work.
No, there was definitely a lot of artwork in WhatsApp, but Cora doesn't do the WhatsApp, so because I did the whole thing where I made her like trans positive, and then I made her. Whoa! I made her trans positive. We ticked all the boxes. It was good. It was a very positive character.
It was.
With a big old bulge.
Whoa, now, hey. How dare you try and ruin my business.
With your facts.
With your facts. So...
Ez just casts a scowl as she heads to the door.
And I will cast Sending at level 5 now, because I've got no 3rd or 4th level slots. Oh, it just never ends. It's been all about sending today.
As? Who are we sending to this time?
I'm sending to... See, I've got 2 5th level spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
First one...
Oh.
I'm debating whether I'm going to cast it twice. I'm going to have a think about the second one. This is mulling it over. But my first one is going to go to a Mr. Rudolph van Richten, saying, I know you said not to contact you, but Strahd has bidden Esmeralda. She is under his charm. We are at the Martikov winery, y'all. But y'all is 2, so it just goes, yuh! At the end. So that's 25. Does he reply?
He does.
Oh, somebody's replied to sending! Do you know what? I think it's only him and he's replied twice. Don't fucking talk to me! Go on. What does he say? Have a think about it though first. Damn. Cut it out.
I understand that you are a cleric. Cast the ritual known as Calm Emotions. That should aid her. Then leave me be.
Okay. Calm emotions, eh?
Report back.
Leave me be!
Hasn't got the spell slots.
Leave me be! But report back as well, please. Right then, okay. Why is that not coming up? Okay.
So
Well, everybody can carry on for a minute. Everybody can carry on.
I'm popping the Ravenloft music back on, so we have some background music. The ambience is quieter than I would have liked.
So he called it a ritual. It's not a ritual, which threw me. So I was searching for rituals. Okay. Okay. You attempt to suppress strong emotions in a group of people. So we're all going to just chill out on this one. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range must make a charisma saving throw. Well, she can't have any because it's fucking Esmeralda. A creature can choose to fail this saving throw if it wishes. If a creature fails its saving throw, choose one of the following 2 effects. You can suppress any effect causing a target to be charmed or frightened. When this spell ends, any suppressed effect resumes, provided that its duration has not expired in the meantime. Alternatively, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice that it is hostile towards. Okay, that's not relevant. I feel like I'm going to have to... Oh, that is concentration. Okay. Concentration, perception, concentration. Everything's just fucking protection these days. Okay. So you're saying cast that. Well, that's going to take me another 24 hours until dawn. Since I just woke everybody up. Okay.
Are you doing your second one?
Not just yet. I'm going to think on it.
Okay.
But just as a heads up, if and when I do it, it's going to a Mr. Strahd von Zarevich.
Thought it might be.
You cunt! You fucking cunt! Mad cartographer, everybody.
That's a very bad word in America.
Nah, it's a pretty bad word everywhere, just not in Liverpool and Bolton. Or Australia, the colonies. Because they threw all our tea in the Boston Harbour, so they were like, oh, it's really offensive over here now. Right, carry on. Okay, I'm going to follow everyone else. Fucking Strahd.
Nev just goes and sits at the table and sort of calls up you. Would you like any help cooking, Adrian? No, it's all right. You just sit there. He sort of looks very concerned over toward. He's suddenly very awkward in his own home.
I will sit next to her. Do you have any lamb, perhaps? Oh!
So if all that strangeness is over with now, what is our plan for today?
I mean, I don't feel like we're in a rush to go anywhere. I guess just some rest and relaxation for a while. What did you and Strahd talk about last night?
And I'm going to try and say it dead casually, like it's not the weirdest thing in the world.
Oh, he just had questions about us, really, and what our plans are, and what we're off to next.
What did you tell him?
Oh, I just, we plan to head up to the mountain. I told him, obviously, about. It was the strangest coincidence, isn't it, that you've managed to find his own book, and so we spoke about that, and obviously the holy symbol from Mataraka. It seemed very important. He appreciated all of it. He hasn't really had the chance he'd like to have to catch up with us. So Yes, it was good. I told him that we become good friends with the Martikovs. We've stayed here, obviously he knew we were here, obviously, but we tend to be splitting our time between here and Valaki. What did you talk about with him when you were there?
Oh, much of the same kind of thing.
Yes.
Yes, how he wants to slowly torture us all and make us insane. Valenta, the one of his wives who we have only met the one time, apparently wants to keep me as some kind of slave or pet. Who knows?
Called you the Vistani bitch, which
Oh
was
yes.
interesting.
He's just playing, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Did you mention the child that we found?
Oh, of course, who doesn't mention the child?
Of course.
Where is the child? I've
Doesn't
totally
matter.
forgotten about that.
Ah,
You didn't leave it in the bag of holding, did you? It'll die.
No, I'd taken out when we were at Yenny's and said, and then I
This
went
is
out.
in character about Andalus.
Bartandalus.
Yeah, but no, I took it out in front of you while we were at Yenny's.
He tried
Yeah,
to make
but-
out that he'd left it somewhere there,
Yeah.
and then he took it with him and gave it to her.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to think it's at Yenny's house.
No, he
No.
just walked off. As his face falls a bit somber, and his, you know that Bartandalus saw it done when we were talking to Yenny, however.
Oh. I forgot about that.
You know that what? What did you say then, DM?
That you saw it done when we were at Yenny's. Because you walked off, didn't you? And you said it wasn't a problem when you came back.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been out of the bag of holding since Berez. So,
Yeah.
like,
It,
yeah.
No
just
one's contesting its existence.
No, I'm not sure the Halvor thought I'd still had it in the bag of holding, like, all this time.
Well, I didn't realize that you'd secreted it somewhere, or pretended to, so I thought maybe you just shoved it back in the bag of holding in character.
Oh, okay. You know we had it out at Yenny's, though. Like, Caspian had been walking around with it. He went to Valaki with it. When we met them all at Yenny's, he had it there. I took the baby. I disappeared with it, and then I came back and didn't have it.
I mean, I probably was there for that, but you do a lot of shady shit, so it's hard to track.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the shady one trying to not let you guys murder the baby.
Well, we weren't trying to murder the baby. You're just
Sorry,
you got handlers. You make an ass out of you and me.
I apologise when I say you. It was not meant to be a plural. It was meant to be a very singular. And he looks across the room, even though we're all speaking out of character. So
I killed no babies and not made any attempt to kill a baby, but I didn't want to bring it with us.
There was very much talk of we should kill the baby, which is why Bartandless left with the baby and hid, in air quotes, the baby.
And took the decision on himself rather than discussing it with the group, yeah.
Well, yeah, because I think you're all going to try and murder the baby.
No, I just want to leave it somewhere.
A bin.
It'll do.
Anyway, we were discussing all the things Ez has given up. Yeah, stop waving the intermission banner around. I think our next step should probably be preparation and consolidation. I think we should head back to the house and or maybe stay here for a while. If they will have us, of course.
Adrian just stood in the doorway like.
We can pull our weight, I promise. Check out these guns.
That's a good point. Having had a good night's sleep, Halvor, you're feeling pretty rough today.
What?
You're aching. Your limbs. Make me a Constitution saving throw, Halvor. with disadvantage.
Oh my god.
Did you eat more pie? He's had a sneaky piece of hag pie all this time, and he just got a little bit hungry in the carriage on the way back.
Halvor, you feel noticeably less strong than you did yesterday. You feel achy and tired and almost fluish. But yeah, your arms, your core, your legs, just like you've just been going for days on end, that it's all just caught up to you now. Your strength has decreased by 9. No, it hasn't. It's decreased
What?
by. It's decreased by 11.
What? What was his strength?
27.
Shut the front door.
I'm not feeling so good, guys.
Mr. Strahd, I don't feel so good.
How am I feeling?
Tired, obviously. You're exhausted.
Sure.
But
Sure.
other than that, fine.
Did I
Halvor's
look?
like, well, the fun times have come to an end.
And I look at Halvor. So,
Well, I mean, other than being tired, I feel fine, but I mean, I didn't eat the food that Strahd served me. How are you feeling, Cora?
As far as I'm aware, I feel fine.
And you do.
Although, admittedly, I picked up my food and didn't quite guzzle it down the way Halvor does, but, you know.
Nobody got their legs squoze at dinner, did they?
I look at Halvor and say,
I mean, the armor was non-magical.
Yes.
So, I can't imagine that you not wearing it is the cause of your fatigue.
I mean, as far as we know, that it was essentially inert.
Perhaps this is the first part of Strahd's plan. He knows what's most important to you and what you value most in yourself is your strength, Halvor.
I looked at Esmeralda. I said,
What did you talk about to Strahd about Halvor?
Sorry, before we move on to that, as Cora says that, Halvor, you just hear a...
Actually, after last time, is my voice changed? I'll take it as a yes. That is not the voice you hear.
That's amazing.
it is, that's canon, that's the voice.
True value of strength. It seems your companion knows you better than you know yourself.
I did everything.
Is that out loud or in your head?
Out loud.
You proved unworthy. Perhaps in time, I will judge you suitable for a second chance, but I hold no high hope. There is little valor in your actions, only in your words.
What have I done? Have I done something wrong?
As I say, a lack of valor. A champion of Zinhala must show true heroism, true bravery, decisiveness, strength, the will to act. You demonstrate little of this. Leave me now to think. Seek another champion.
And
And
the voice fades.
the room gets Halvor's odd mental mutterings.
So all of Halvor's replies were out loud, yeah?
As he makes the first one, Ez just looks at you, Bartandalis, and looks concerned over at Halvor again.
He was speaking to you again. Whoever it is. What did they tell you this time?
Oh, more of the same, I guess. I'm not worthy.
Doesn't sound like you're not worthy, Halvor. Sounds like you're not doing whatever agenda they have.
I thought I did everything I had to, but apparently not. I don't think I'll be hearing anything anytime soon.
You think your strength was whoever... Ooh.
A single rumble of thunder outside.
And that cuts me off. Which direction did it feel like it came from? Like from this window or the other side of the building?
From the north.
I'm gonna go straight to the window and start peering out.
A bleak, drizzly morning.
Halvor kind of continues, I must be strong, I must be brave, heroic. But I feel weaker than ever.
It's like a drug, Halvor. You've had something been given to you. And you've had it for so long that you felt that's who you were, but it wasn't. That was just something on top of whatever you are. You're already strong and brave, and you've shown nothing but valor since you got here.
And I look over my shoulder.
And anybody that says otherwise, anything that says otherwise, well then they're a liar. And if they're a liar, you can't trust anything they say.
And anyone looking into Halvor's response, you just see a kind of blank expression, deep in thought, and see that the darkness around his eyes and under his eyes is just more pronounced than ever.
Well, you tried.
And in my head, not out loud.
Tried what? To reason with him?
Yes. Give him time. He seems a bit upset.
The one that speaks to him. It's one like you, I presume. One of the dark powers. It hasn't fooled, right?
My understanding is not. His appears to be something a bit more deific, frightfully unsightly. I have very little to do with it.
So I'm the chosen one for all your interests.
You've always been my chosen one. I told you as much. I will never lie to you. Our relationship must rely on truth and honesty. And as I said from the start, I'm indebted to you. I would not keep things from you.
Then if we're speaking truth, why are you indebted to me? What did I do?
You've been through a lot, so I'll assume you just forgot the fact that we already had this conversation.
It's been a couple of years.
15 sessions ago. You set me free. Remember?
I remember. The fourth wall! I remember the vision of the Ember Temple, Bleakin.
Not a vision, a glimpse.
Where did I set you free? What did I do?
I was locked away. The key was in the lock, but I was unable to turn it. You reached out a helping hand and turned it for me.
What did I do?
A former associate of mine had proven unable to fulfill their charge. By reaching out to him, you gave him what he needed. Exophanta.
So by talking to the Lich, that what? Made him realize that he needed to wake you up or something?
Precisely.
Maybe you should be thanking him and not me.
No, he is troubled, untrustworthy, unpredictable. I know you're coming here. You must be very wary of him.
Feel like I should be wary of you as well.
And I you, but a healthy respect can come from mutual wariness.
All right. Now of you and the Dark Powers, we always presumed they were one, but then we went to Argynvostholt. And we saw 3, at least, in stained glass windows. And one we have come to know as Vampire.
Oh,
You know this one.
of course I know him. He's the reason we're all here.
How many more of there are you? How many more of you are there? English, no my strong point.
That's a difficult question to answer. In truth, we are legion. But here, specifically, I've not been out to check recently, but certainly doesn't.
What do we face when we reach the Ember Temple? Are there going to be others trying to vie for us? What dangers await us there?
I'll do everything in my power to protect you from those sorts of ills. But it was a temple full of wizards and their toys, long since fell to ruin. You can imagine the mundane and not so mundane delights you have. If you even make it there, it is a hard road. They're looking at you a bit weird. We have been talking for some time. Shall I come to you later?
Sure.
Farewell.
For now.
Man, your voice acting is so good, Harrison.
Oh, yes.
Now I'm just kind of like staring out of the window through all this.
No more lightning or anything, I guess.
No.
I'll turn to the group. What's our plan?
Well, we still have some business to attend to in Vallaki, but it wouldn't hurt us all to take a day or two to ourselves.
Sounds good to me. And Ez gets up and slowly and casually walks over to a window next to Bartender and she lowers her voice. What are we going to do about Halvor?
Like I said, maybe a few days to ourselves. If whatever has his mind has left him, abandoned him, and hopefully we'll see the real Halvor. Sometimes to get over these kind of things just takes a little time, and I look at Esmeralda very, very deliberately as I'm saying it.
She nods thoughtfully. You're probably right. Still, I don't like it.
Did you speak to?
She take turns to. And she sort of drops off saying you want to speak.
No, go. It's fine. What do you want to say?
We shouldn't leave him alone. We should take turns to stay with him. I was worried when it was just us and him in the swamp. You don't know what these things could, being in a state like this, could do. But yes, we'll talk more later. What were you going to say?
Did you tell Strahd about Mordrenkainen?
And I say this very quietly.
Do you know what? I didn't actually. It never came up. It's so many other questions that I should have told him about Mordrenkainen. He would have found it very interesting. But no, I didn't get a chance to. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Show me to message him. I could send him a message if you like. Do you think it's gonna wait till next time, or?
I think it'll keep. There's no major rush.
Okay. And she gives you just eyebrows, like, haven't discussed Halvor. Let's keep it in mind. Sort of steps back.
And I just give her a rude, I force a smile, but it's just a heart of sorrow at whatever is fucking going on with this girl.
So, Halvor and Cora, what are you doing? As Adrian very uncomfortably and awkwardly starts to make breakfast.
I'm going to probably busy myself and help Adrian and try and just sort of stay out of this because Cora's completely overwhelmed with what's going on with Halvor and Ez. She doesn't really know what to make of any of it, so she's trying to make the best of it.
Halvor is stoic and contemplative, and when they do have some food, uncharacteristically is just going to be kind of half picking at it.
I am looking out the window while the food's being cooked. I'm in like some deep thought, and then I just turn to the group and say,
I didn't think we'd be staying around for too long. I felt like we'd come here, rest our day, and then move on, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and so it's only going to make it difficult to try and hide it and force people to lie. I brought the child with us. Casperin's currently looking after it in the other room.
Ez, already knowing this, looks to Halvor and Cora to gauge their reactions.
Cora sighs and looks away.
You kept it.
I didn't kill it, if that's what you mean. But I didn't leave it where I couldn't keep an eye on it neither.
What are you going to do with it?
I don't know yet. Right now it just seems like a baby, but don't take me for a fool like I don't think there's something else going on. I know that. And I kind of like sit down, like pull the chair out and sit down and kind of like hand in my head and just kind of like, I don't know what to do. My impulse was to hide it. The talk that was happening about killing it just came all too quickly, all too freely, and I wasn't.
But Andalus, nobody said to kill the baby.
Well, I think
You-
Yenny
you-
said to kill the baby.
Yeah, you literally asked Yenny and Laura whether we should kill the baby or not.
I said, do you think we should keep the baby? I've never said to kill the baby. I've said to leave the baby.
Laura, in answer to your question, specifically said that you should destroy it.
Yeah. So it was on the cards. It was on the cards.
Yeah.
If Yenny and Laura think that it should be destroyed, do you not think that maybe that is wise?
No, Yenny didn't. Laura did. Yenny wasn't sure. I believe Yenny was kind of like, oh, it looks like a baby, though, doesn't it? He's not doing anything else yet, though. It looks like a baby.
Oh, that was uncanny.
Yeah, no. Because, well, you didn't know that every time Yenny needs to speak, Harrison just nudges me, and I've actually been doing the voice all this time.
Don't you think, as the person that would probably know the most about the baby being from the same area and actually found in the room with the baby, that maybe Laura would have a point or know more about the baby than we do?
I don't necessarily think that's a given. I think that as the huntress, I do not doubt that she has violence and feral instincts running through her veins, and a kill or be killed mentality. So I don't think that she's necessarily filled with compassion or understanding. And just because she's been there, from what I've seen, her existence was pretty meaningless. She was just hung up and had her throat slit over and over and over.
I'm not really sure what the point of having this conversation is about Andalus. It seems like you've already made up your own mind about this.
I've made up my mind. I'm just trying to convince the rest of you. That's why the conversation is happening, Cora.
That
You say you're
reminds
not-
me. We're planning to ask Laura some questions, and we haven't had a chance to talk to her yet.
I certainly would like to go back and expand on her thoughts. Perhaps that would give us an idea of what to do with the child.
I think perhaps Halvor was right with his initial inclination of maybe taking a few days to see if everybody's feeling a little better, and I kind of like cast a side glance to Esmeralda before we go speaking to such parties.
She nods conspiratorially at you. Glances
In
at Halvor.
cahoots. In cahoots.
Yeah, glances at Halvor. I definitely think that sounds for the best.
Maybe a day wouldn't hurt.
And we
We
take
should
a day.
try and get to Yenny and Laura before Laura disappears. I get the feeling she's not one to stick around in a cramped hut.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like Barovia is that big a place all said and done. How many places is she gonna run to? She ain't looking to take back Yesterhill. I don't know what else she's got going for her.
Well, it's breakfast.
Thank you, Adrian. It's appreciated. Can you serve up another portion? And I kind of like point at an empty table, an empty chair next to me, and I'm gonna go and get Caspin. Hey, wake up, you lazy fucker! You're still in bed. We're all eating breakfast. And I will take the baby off him. Come on. Breakfast. Did he just fucking... He teleported. Fucking vampires everywhere. And I will sit down at the table with child.
Oh. Hey, why can I suddenly not... I can't shift click around the map. Right click myself. Oh, there we go. I can now. Very weird. Yeah, Davian just looks exasperated at the heaving state of his kitchen. And it's the Hal voice that just, in my chair! And wraps you on the shoulder.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Bloody take a man's table. His chair's out on the corridor for some reason. Bring one of them in. You can sit on that. What's up with him?
It's been a night.
What you all do now?
I'd like to spend the day and night here, if that's alright. It's been a long time since we haven't been on the move, David.
It's fine. And then what? What's next? Or actually, never mind. Perhaps best not to talk about such things over breakfast.
Yeah. And I will take out the spare. I think was it on a chain? I think it was a symbol to Lathander. Was it like a pendant type thing that I got?
Yeah, the rusted one.
The rusted one. Can I? Oh, actually, oh shit! Do I even have the spell anymore? Can I cast Mending or Prestidigitation to like de-rust it a little bit?
Yeah, it's not going to go brilliant,
Sure.
but it'll certainly make it not look like it's been carried around on a corpse for an indeterminate number of years.
And I'm going to put it over around baby's head, around his neck.
Okay.
Does this creepy, starry-eyed baby essentially look like it's straight out of a horror film?
Nice.
Father.
What did you say then?
Thank you,
Frankenfeld.
Father.
No, it looks like a normal. It looks fine. There's just like slight traces of scarring where it's been joined together. I don't know if I've done it before.
Bright blue eyes, dark hair, chubby little tubster.
I am going to look at the child and I'm going to use extract name on it. Now, I don't know how this would work, whether it would need the child to... I mean, I don't know what the fuck this thing is. Whether it would know its name from... whether people giving it a name gives it a name, or whether it needs to consciously know its name for it to have a name. I don't know how this would work, so I will leave that up to you, DM.
Yeah, just read and extract name now.
Oh, my ear!
That noise. That was it. Yeah, that was a lot of noise.
That was Halvor rolling 20 D100s because I just got the boysed.
You. Oh, I don't know if you do or not.
See, it says its true name, so to me,
that would be whatever its given name is. So if it's been given a name, I mean, obviously, if it fails its fucking super high fucking wisdom saving throw, I would presume if it's been given a name, then that's its true name. But that's just my take on it. However you want to handle it, if you then it's kind of your bag.
What's for DC?
Bear with it. It is a wisdom one, so it will be DC 14.
Strahd von Zarovich.
Shut the fuck up. Is that really what it's called?
Yeah.
Shut up. Is it
Whoa,
really?
what?
Are you fucking shitting me?
No, he's shitting you.
He's
That's not
shitting
true.
me.
I'm not.
I mean, it's like you say, Bowler Saga, who raised Strahd, could have named this baby Strahd von Zarovich.
It wouldn't. She wouldn't name
Sure.
it Strahd von Zarovich. She'd like name it Strahd Junior or something.
No, she's named it
Strahd
for
as well.
him. No, because she might have had like the connection to Strahd, and then Strahd became Dark Powers and became something different. So she's like built her own baby that
Trying
she's
to
kinda like,
replicate him.
yeah. Oh,
Just
man.
like he did with Arena, essentially. She was Arena. She was just. In fact, no, she was called Vasilka, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Or maybe this is just like a baby that's growing replacement parts.
No, I mean, he doesn't need him. He's
the
a
body part
vampire.
donor.
He doesn't need him. He's the land. He's immortal.
And now there's fucking two of them.
Well, you don't know that.
Maybe if
I
you
know
tried
it.
to chop this baby in half, it just wouldn't die.
Aren't we glad you didn't kill him? Yay.
You don't know this yet. He's still just baby.
Oh, baby. I mean, very creepy baby.
Very creepy baby that I wanted to leave behind.
That just stares at you in the night.
So yes,
Stares at you in the night 'cause it doesn't sleep.
the baby's name is Strahd von Zarovich. Put it in your notes so you don't forget.
And I'm kind of like paused, just looking at the child. I mean, I suppose it's not necessarily looking at me. I've just got it bouncing on my head, but I stopped bouncing for a second as I am processing. The child needs a name.
I already have one.
Oh my god, was she just speaking to this baby all night and it's bitter? Want to breastfeed. Jokes. Ah!
How about Eckhart? You won't be needing it anymore.
I was thinking Sergey.
Ooh.
What?
And I turn it around and I'm going to look at it.
Because it looks like a Sergey. Hey there.
I can't stroke its hair. Does this baby coos and smiles and stuff, doesn't it? Is it like a normal child? We've never had a smile for it. It might be total like.
I haven't had a
Stop.
smile. Yeah, I haven't had a smile from it yet.
Okay. I'll just keep hold of it. And. Oh. Okay, I'm going for it. One second. Because I've got no spell slots, I have to cast it. I'm casting my second level Detect Thoughts as a level 5. I am. Because I've got no spell slots left. What are the surface thoughts of this child?
Just you wait. They are the fluid, shallow, almost formless impulse thoughts of a baby who does not know language. Just
Sure.
I imagine the
It's following its
experience.
id.
Well, I imagine the experience is very much like whenever Rugrats went from being in Spike's perspective.
I mean, I just get thoughts and feelings anyway, so it's
Yeah.
just like hungry or what's that sparkly?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. And I kind of like just lean back in the chair and just kind of like rest it on my chest and just kind of like cradle its head a little bit.
What will you do of the day, Cora? Esmeralda asks.
I have no real plans for the day, I suppose, Ez. What do you have planned?
Might train a little more, perhaps.
Maybe I'll come with you.
That'd be good. Yes. I haven't really seen you use a sword much.
I
Haven't had
have
much
far
need,
too
I
much
suppose.
success with my bow.
Yes, I can imagine. Oh, I don't need to imagine, I've seen. Yes, I'll probably swing the sword around a bit. Try and keep sharp. Especially if we're heading up the mountain soon. God only know what we're going to find up there.
I'll look down the table at Davian and say, I know it gets cold around here. Maybe not Selenka cold, but anything you can teach me while I'm here that might help us?
Doing the dishes would be a good start, given how you've left this table every other time you've visited.
I can do the dishes. There's no problem.
Hey. Spells for cold. Can you warm metal up?
Is that a particular spell?
Heat metal.
Heat metal? No. No, I can't.
Bloody hell.
I mean, I can do other things. I cast Fireball, but I don't because I've not got the spell slots! I can do anything of level 1 or a level 1 or a cantrip at this moment in time.
I can show you that one before you go.
And I kind of like sat there still with a baby cradle and like just give him a nod. Appreciate it.
Takes time to learn. You already know this.
How long?
Oh, an hour per level or whatever. The mechanics of transcribing a spell.
What level is heat metal?
Oh, heat metal is, I want to say second. Let me have a look.
Heat metal.
Heat metal is second level transmutation.
Second level. New metal, other metal, steel metal, metal, some ball, choose up there, glow red hot. Okay. Does it do like fire damage or something?
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't heard of this. This is one of the most abused spells ever that make like paladins and other armor wearers absolutely rage. It's like it takes an hour to take your armor off. You're just eating this damage every turn if Johnny Cleric keeps channeling it.
Ugh, concentration. Ugh, god damn it. Fucking concentration fucking spells. Thanks, Davian. Okay, cool. Hey, any spell is better than no spell. And I give him a nod. Appreciate it.
Now do the dishes.
Yeah, wash.
I mean, I can literally just cast Prestidigitation and just get everything cleaned, it's fine.
I just cast Unseen Servant, get it to do all the dishes.
The ravens begin to stir a bit and caw, and Davian slides a window open, and they all gradually pile out and fly off in various directions. Should have done that earlier. Got distracted for some reason.
Where do your birds go? What do they do?
Well, they're birds. They fly around. They do what birds do. They just come back here where it's safe at night.
What do they tell you, Davian? Always feels like you're trying to go up against Strahd or learn what you can, or I don't know.
He pointedly looks at Ez and back to you and says, just birds. Just birds.
She knows what we already know. And if she's spoken, she's spoken. And I don't doubt that Strahd knows whatever it is you're doing here. I just don't know what you were doing here before we came here.
Waiting.
For
Learning what we
what?
can.
What have you learned?
Lay of the land. What goes on. When people have arrived before, people have tried to get rid of him in the past. We have kept going because we don't just go jumping in, throwing our all in with anyone who just makes a very convincing, charismatic speech. We're about seeing this through. There's been people who stood here. Someone's even stood in this kitchen before and implored us to march on Ravenloft with them. We didn't. We couldn't. And they didn't even get past the front door. So yeah, we watch and we learn and we deal in information and we help him the way we can. Because we ain't fighters.
And I look around at his children. Yeah. Yeah, you are. And we owe you a lot. I know it might always seem like we're taking up your hospitality, but I like to think you at least see us on the same side, that the fact that we've not asked you to march on Ravenloft. And as I lean forward and like kind of grab a bit. Has food been served, or is he still cooking it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of and like I grab a bit of food and then I just go, yet. You know the time's coming, right?
I know the time for you to ask is coming, but I think you'll be disappointed.
So you're just gonna keep watching and waiting every time?
No, we're going to keep helping as much as we can in our way. Hospitality, eyes out on the road, messages, information. This is what we've got to contribute.
I feel like you've got more, and I look at Muriel.
If we're going to have this conversation every time you all come knocking, that hospitality is going to dwindle.
Alright. I won't ask again. I won't ask you, and I won't ask Muriel. But every time we'll make it plain about what we're doing. And if you decide that that's the time to join us, if you feel like we're the horse that you hitch your wagon to, then just know that you'll be welcome and any aid would be most appreciated when it comes down to it.
Davian goes to speak and Muro just speaks over him, saying, "Noted," and gives you a nod.
And I nod and leave it at that.
What after breakfast then?
An awkward conversation with Bartandless and I want to say Cassandra, but that's not her name.
Stefania?
Say again?
Stefania?
Stefania, because there was nowhere near. About ways in which to feed this child that don't resolve it mean she's having to breastfeed it, which would be fucking awkward.
Yeah, she's... Absolutely not.
Yeah, I am not asking her to, so that would be ridiculous. But I'm presuming in the time that we've gone that Esmeralda might have broached some sort of subject for this child being fed, maybe?
It is of the age where... It's of an age or a size where it wouldn't be getting weaned yet.
Oh, you say that?
But... It hasn't... It's gone over 24 hours without food now.
And it's got a full set of.
Has it? It's gone 24 hours. Why has nobody fed it in 24 hours?
Because none of you have told me you fed it or tried to feed it.
I mean, I told Esmeralda to speak to Stefania about it at the wagon.
It wouldn't take food.
There we go. Okay.
It wouldn't eat.
No, I thought... It's a baby. If it gets upset enough, it will begin to let us know, and then we can feed it before we start looking at anything else. But do we even know that it eats? It isn't... It's natural.
Well, first of all, it's not an it, it's a he. But yeah, I don't know what he eats yet. Lamb. I don't know what he eats yet.
In an attempt to keep busy, Halvor offers to help out around the winery. Davy and Adrian, if there's anything I can do to help out, let me know. I need to keep my hands busy, I think.
Well, I've seen how strong you are at shifting things around before. There's a bit of lugging you can do downstairs, save me getting the horses out.
Yes, very strong.
If you got any minor repairs, things that need mending around the place, I can do them easy enough.
Yeah, boundary fences of the vineyard be a good start. A couple of them are still a bit battered.
Give him a nod. Caspian can come and help.
Caspian gives a nod and slowly gets up from the table, looking unsure at the prospect of
Labour.
a bout of manual labour.
You will fucking earn your keep, noble.
So yeah, for us after breakfast, I'll kind of head out with Sergey, the newly named, in the hold all, kind of like sling, with Caspian. We'll head out to the boundary.
Okay. You are crossing the vineyard then.
I am.
And you arrive at a slightly ramshackle amount of boundary fence, which is sagged and gone over to the side with weather of some sort. Is it the snow? Is it how windy it's been? Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun. Who done it? Exciting. So yeah, in general, because I've got hold of the baby, I'll let Caspian kind of like hold the wooden pieces in together, and I will cast mending to patch them back up. That'll be our general process. But I'll let other people do stuff. We're just kind of casually chatting. I'll let other people do their bit because I've talked a bit.
Okay, what's Cora up to then?
Cora's deliberately wanted to stay with Ez today and try and keep a little eye on her while the spell is wearing off and just make sure she doesn't get herself into more trouble. So she's kind of going to follow Ez's lead to go, and if she wants to go and train, that's cool, we'll go train.
Yeah, Ez would be grateful for the company in, well, the sparring partner would go downstairs and outside to the kind of the open veranda area with the stomping, the grape stamping vats, and do a bit of swordplay with you, in which I imagine you quite quickly find yourself a bit outmatched in terms of swordplay.
Cora's not very used to playing with swords.
She's not. She's more a gauntlet wearer, isn't she? But yeah, you spend about 2 hours, a couple of short breaks for breath inside. Yeah, just doing a bit of swordplay.
Does she talk any more about Strahd, or seem like that she's
Do you ask her any more about Strahd? That's how this works.
I don't.
What would you like to say
I
to
don't
her?
ask her any more about Strahd. I'm just kind of trying to keep an eye on her and see if I can detect whether or not she's becoming aware of her previous actions or anything. Does she still just seem as she was? This
Yeah,
weird
her behaviour's been consistent throughout the day. She just seems normal. She's just Ez.
as with her mate Strahd.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean doesn't sit there talking about him constantly.
I was just wondering if when the charm wears off, will she suddenly go, "What did I do?" I don't know if that's how it works. Is that how it works? I'm not sure.
It's if it even wears off. Okay.
That
Your
was such a
dice
good voice.
your dice roll at the start was how many in-game months will she be?
So she
How many
rolled
in-game months have you
fantastically.
been here?
Yeah, it's all like 3, didn't you?
Yeah, but that's like 12 years.
Davian, can we just stay here for a little while longer?
Halvor.
Indeed.
Davian points you to a number of full barrels in the downstairs hallway that need loading into the wagon. And he is pleased to have you here, as it means we don't have to deal with all the faff of sorting the crane out to load any of it all in. You can just, he's seen what you can do. You can easily...
Have you not heard? No. Halvor's weak again now.
He knows that you can just lug these large barrels full of wine skillfully and carefully into the back of a wagon where they need to go. And he is most pleased about that.
Halvor does his best, and that's what counts.
Oh, bless you.
Make me an athletics check, please, with disadvantage.
What?
Oh no.
Because you're also so tired and achy. Yeah.
Still, pretty good.
It's very difficult. It's like it's really jarring for you, because this is, you look at this and you know what's in it, and it's like looking at a child and knowing you should be able to pick them up, and then it being such a struggle. But yeah, you get the first barrel in. There are 3 more to go. Make me another one, please. Disadvantage. And Davian's just sort of watching you a bit. In fact, is a plus 11 accurate with your nerve?
Cool. I mean, could be. I'm like +11 with it. Investigation.
Yes, it is.
Is that because
'Cause
of the...
I-
Oh yeah, of course, I see. Plus 11 because expertise. Okay. Yeah. Next one goes in. And then the final... And you're like red still. You are like a bit of a vein popping and Davian's looking a bit amused. Last one. Yeah, you find your footing. You get into a bit of a rhythm with it, and you manage to get it in. But even as you go from the last one, the small of your back is in intense pain. You have bust a gut doing that.
I think I'm feeling a bit off today. I think I might need to
Yeah.
go have a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, go on. Age catches up to us all.
Oh God.
My spine.
Yeah, he is gonna find a quiet spot somewhere. Probably, I don't know, maybe in that printing press kind of room, unless there's people in there, and just kind of chill out and try and recuperate a bit.
While I'm kind of like doing the repairs and stuff with Caspin, just kind of like chatting and stuff, I say so. So I know that back home, when we get back, you've been trained to lead. I guess you've had all sorts of schooling and experiences in that way, but it might be a while until we get back. In that time, it feels like, I don't know, you could be doing something to improve yourself, keep on bettering. Well, how were you with handling a sword or a bow, or did you ever have any inclination with the arcane arts? Kind of like saying it's just just kind of chit chat whilst we're kind of like mending the fences and stuff.
I've done a small amount of sword work with my tutors and instructors, of course, but beyond that, I am not yet been of a martial age. It would be expected of me at some point to attend upon most certainly one of my uncles, but that would be no more than a glorified squire.
I mean, I think the way we're looking, and with everything that's happened last night, with Strahd coming here so freely, I won't feel comfortable about leaving you here when we head up to Selenka.
His eyes drift to that looming mountain to the south.
I can't force you. You're your own man now. If you want to stay here, then you can, but I know I'd feel more comfortable if you came with us. But if that's the case, I feel like you should be practicing in something. I think you've got pretty good teachers in all of us, potentially. Cora could teach you how to pop an eye out of a pig at 100 yards. And Helvor, well,
You might not have his aggression, but he can wield a weapon like no one else I've seen here so far. But if you're the learned sort, if you like to read and study, and you're interested, and I cast mending as I'm saying it, I could teach you a thing or two as well.
He looks at the amount of fence that has been repaired so far and gives his arm a little bit of an awkward flex as if it's aching slightly, even just from holding these panels up for a few
Grunt.
minutes.
Fucking grunt.
I think perhaps swinging a blade around is not to my body's inclination.
And I smile slightly. Nor was it ever mine. I mean, and actually, do you know what? Can I see whether I know whether his family were who they do I know who they worshipped? Because I know the Morning Law was kind of like where I was. I don't necessarily know if it was where he was from. Would I know that just?
I believe it will have been Joaquin. Yes.
Joaquin. Okay.
Yes, it was Joaquin.
I mean, there's always the possibility of praying to Joaquin. I know that your family gave her worship, as did many from your region. I don't know how much she's heard here, though.
I prayed to her many times when I was in the cage, but she did not answer. Only in the last days, your friend, the squat woman, spoke to me and told me you were coming.
Then, perhaps that path is not meant for you. Though I do not doubt that you were devoted in your prayer. If you do not feel like the martial way is meant for you, if you're interested, I'd be honored to try and teach you a few things that I've learned.
I see no reason not to try. That could be good.
Then we'll try and put a little time aside each day, and we'll start with the basics. Have a few spells that you can try and copy.
Am I required to worship Lathander if I am to follow this path?
No, my learning and skills were devoted in different directions. Part of what I can do is from the heart, and part is from the head. We'll focus on the head for you. But Davian said he would teach me something. It's going to be a little bit advanced for you, but if you wanted to join in and at least watch and get an idea, then I'd be happy for you to join me.
I think that would be most interesting. Yes, I would be interested in doing this.
Well, alright. Well, he ain't gonna teach us nothing unless we get all this finished, so, whether you like the physical or not, let's get to it.
Very well. And he
And
holds
I will...
holds the next panel up for you.
And I'm going to go over to him and kind of hold onto my amulet, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him to just try and, give him a little...
What slot's that?
That's just a level 1, thank fuck for that. These are the wasteful ones. We can waste a level 1 slots, fine. There you go. Kind of heal him up a little bit.
Okay.
Boosh.
It's probably all his hit points.
So yeah, he holds up the fence panel, sort of steady, a bit of a fence post, sort of steadying it a bit, and a little bit of sweat on his forehead, even though he's just holding up a fence post. Leaving him hanging.
Oh, I cast Mending. There we go.
And it just sort of jolts back into place. But then there's about 20 foot, 40 foot of broken fence extending along. You're obviously going along a foot at a time. But as you mend it, it just almost like Mexican waves down the fence, and just the whole fence just gradually rips itself back up upright, and all just straightens.
I've turned into Mordenkainen! And there's 40 of him! Thanks for bringing the picture, DM!
I received
shit.
your message.
Is he behind me? In front of me? Where's he at?
He is stood on the path where it approaches the winery, sort of 15 foot away in here. He's looking quite a bit more comfortable in himself than last time.
Yeah,
His
it's
robe-
very, very aggressive nature, the way he welcomed me. It's like,
His,
jeez.
his robes are looking positively resplendent.
I was gonna say resplendent! What the fuck? Why do we have the same word?
Energy sort of dances around him a bit. And he strides purposefully over, casting eyes over the winery. How many days since last we spoke?
2 weeks, maybe?
Time is indeed different here. Where was it?
Berez. Baba the Saga had it.
That is the swamp, yes?
It is, yeah. Had it. No longer.
And I look to Casper and say, this is Mordenkainen. And I'm presuming he's well known enough that he would know who he is.
He kind of... He obviously doesn't think that this is... His expression is more someone of just like, why would this person have named themselves after Mordenkainen?
I don't know, it's just seen a load of fucking fences suddenly be healed, so either that or he thinks I'm a pretty good fucking spellcaster.
Yeah.
I don't want to break that illusion.
And yet I cannot detect it. What has been done to it?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a lead-lined blanket.
I should have known that. Of course, of course. Well, you have my gratitude, of course. Again, in fact. No sign of a tome?
No. And I guess that your search has been no more fruitful.
My search is yet to begin. I've spent 2 weeks in reflection of sorts. 2 weeks. I do it in an hour normally. To regain some of my arcane focus and adjust what I am currently capable of performing without access to my tome. Still, the tome must be recovered.
Well, without any guidance of where it might be, I figure that it's either going to fall into our lap like the staff did, or not at all. I wouldn't even know where to begin searching in a place like this.
I might have to seek to isolate one of his agents.
Strahd?
Ask them. We'll see. Where is the staff?
It's in the winery, second floor. Most southern east?
unless the map's flipped north.
Well, no, because don't know, because when we do you know when we approach it and the winery's on the west side, and then the view that we get on the actual tone frame shows us coming to the front, but then the map we come at it from the north. So I don't know, DM. We've got a region map.
While you're saying all this,
He's gone.
He just closed his eyes for a second and said, "It's the only lead in there." And just starts marching off towards the building.
Well, that's a lie, because there was actually a chest that was fucking with lead, you prick.
Yeah, but
as he's
lined. That was lined. In it. Yeah, was it gone? Because I won't say it unless he's gone.
Yeah, has he gone? Has he gone, prick?
I heard that.
Yeah, Cora and Halvor from your separate sides of the bill. Oh no, Halvor, you went upstairs, didn't you? Cora and you would see Mordenkainen just striding across the vineyard with, it must be said, little regard for the grapes growing there.
He is such a cock. He's dead angry about fucking we'd found his staff. Not even a thank you, fucking prick.
Yeah, you said you have his gratitude.
It's not a thank you though, is it? It's not the same.
Well, once he can cast 1 million more spells, maybe he'll be in luck.
Yeah.
So he just marches up and comes past you on the veranda, Cora. Just gives you a nod, just like a hello. Just keeps going. Just walks straight into the winery.
I cast thank you. I cast thank you at Cora.
Caspin looks to you and just like, why did you start so little if it is possible to repair the whole fence at once? You have been doing one panel at a time.
And I kind of look at him confused, and then cast a glance back to Mordenkainen, and then look back at End. For the first time since Bartandless has been in Barovia, he belly laughs. He breaks out laughing hard. That he's just been compared.
Ha ha.
No, he breaks out in the fucking belly laughter that he's just been compared to the most powerful wizard in the land.
Come on, it looks like we're done here.
And then he kind of puts an arm around Caspin and starts leading him back towards the winery, following in the trail of dead grapes. Fortunately,
I like how you referred to them as dead grapes.
Yeah, they've just been deaded. Now they're now wine grapes, crushed wine grapes. It's fine. We've got a really powerful gem that'll grow them back in no time.
Before you're even at the building, Mordenkainen is striding out again. This time holding the staff, which almost seems to be an entirely different item in his hand. It looks like it's grown about a foot, and it's near enough, just like LED effects up and down it.
DM, does he shout Excelsior? Because I feel like this is an Excelsior moment.
He does not shout Excelsior. But yeah, he comes out and he is smiling a hard smile. You have my thanks. No.
And I jizzed in my pants.
No, he's not Strahd. Yeah, he comes out. And
No, my child is.
waves the staff up in his hands, and stood next to Cora. Looks to her. For your trouble. No, I'm stuck in the Strahd.
Creepy.
Bites her.
Yeah.
No! I've only been bitten. It was fine.
For your troubles. And he reaches into his robe and pulls out a single jewel, which he drops in your hand, and then walks back across some more grapes.
Has he just tipped me?
Was it a magical gem or a normal gem?
How would we know?
It's
Does
true.
it look like those other magic gems by any chance?
What color is it? Does it look like a diamond?
Does it look resplendent?
Give us an image. Are we thinking more diamond or more ironstone?
I'm just finding a picture of it for you now. Oh God, no, that's a terrible image. Okay, it is about the size of an egg
Oh,
of a chicken.
It's my kind of gem.
And
not an ostrich then. Thank fuck for that.
It is, and it.
A rock.
I just have to carry it around on our back.
It
About the size of an egg, the shape of an egg, and the colour of an egg.
Just give you an egg. One of Mordenkainen's gem eggs. Just fucking egg, you prick. He's still the mad mage, this fucking idiot. For your trouble, gives you an egg. That would be brilliant.
And here is a pan of transmutation.
Here, have some fish bones. Oh, nice one, pal.
This the size of an egg, but it's kind of like opaline sort of distortion. All the colours of the rainbow.
Ooh, shiny.
Sounds very like something only a wizard could use.
It's mine.
Cora takes a level in wizard.
Yeah.
Nah, she's not intelligent enough.
Hey.
Oh wow, low blow. Go on, DM. Oh, we're just getting a description. I guess I would have to identify it. Okay. Does it look like any gem we have ever seen?
You're across the field, mate.
Okay, does it look like any gem that Cora's ever seen?
It's my gem.
I mean, she's a little urchin hunter. I'm not sure she's ever seen shit.
I don't know, she might have...
She might have pocketed it.
I bet
I've
this...
seen the gems that they use to grow stuff.
I imagine
It's
there's...
not like the winery gems. No, it is smaller.
But, you know, she has, like, coveted many a noble's necklace and things like that. Does it look,
Oh,
you know...
coveted.
Make me a. No, it doesn't look like anything you've ever seen before, Cora.
Nice.
That's the only answer that would satisfy him.
No, any answer would satisfy me. It's fine. I'm still going to ID it.
Cora
Don't
sits
make-
in a pocket.
I'm not now because I don't know she's got it. You say ha, but until you mention it to me, you just got a shiny gem.
Quite precious.
No, Cora. Pass it to me. Let me identify it. Oh, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. He says, sat in Strahd's armor.
Look into my eyes. It's just an egg.
Just an egg. So, Mordenkainen striding.
Walks forward, and the cloak,
I hold my hand out for an egg.
the
don't
cloak rises up around him for a second, and then poof, he is gone.
Didn't even say goodbye. What a prick. I am keeping his tome. I'm probably not. I don't want to fight Mordenkainen. Okay. She disappears. And I look
When
at
you get-
I look at Caspian and say, I made him disappear.
You hear in your head, "Oh, yes, thank you. I
I was
paid-
prompt-
I paid
I was
the
prompted. I was prompted out of character to thank you.
I paid the elf."
I will try to reply this message. I don't know if it's a sending spell that is used, but I will just reply with, it's not 25 words, it's one word, but I will make it take the space of 25 words, just shouting, no! And I'll breathe, oh, 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 for 24 additional times.
Cool. You can tell we're coming to the end of the session. It's gone bonkers.
Well, yes. So Esmeralda has trained with Cora. I'd say after a bit of, we're getting to about 10. Given that bartenders acted at first light, actually, I'd say we're getting to about 9 a.m. Breakfast been eaten. A bit of manual work's been done, but not much because, modern canon. Halvor busted his back already and gone to bed. Yeah, so it's about 9
Been a good
in the
day so
morning.
far.
Okay.
What are the plans for the day? Because it's one of them where if you have other stuff you want to do, we can pick up next time at 9. That if you want to just make it a rest day, then we can skip ahead next session.
I say rest day.
Yeah, I'm happy for a rest day, but I'll probably have a bit of a chat up with Muriel. Hey, babe.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see if I can
I'd
think
say
of
we
anything
can
to
use
do.
Yeah, I'd say we can use the Intercession roleplay channel for that, Lindsay, but you
Oh!
can use Discord.
She can. I will relay anything that she might have interest in doing.
I can
Okay.
summarize. Hey, how you doing?
Gee. Right.
I might see if talk to Poe about whether
Who?
going through
Who?
the tome.
Sorry, who?
Sorry, I might
Who?
talk to bartenders about looking at the tome some more, or try and be productive without
Yep.
killing myself or just moping about the entire day. But a good portion of just moping, probably,
Okay.
with the occasional being productive.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
everybody else gets to choose what they're doing. No, it's fine. I'll just sit here. Don't worry about it.
Oh, bless him.
At some point, given that I've been told that she's been paid, I will approach Cora, and if Cora wishes to utilize Bartandless's magic to identify what she has been given, then that is Cora's choice. If she
Cora
wishes to
avoids
walk,
Poe.
if she's just constantly like every time he walks over, height like,
Yeah, about 10.
then Cora does not know what she's got.
He paid
She
us.
can't
Yeah,
identify
can
it,
you believe
but-
he just paid us in grapes? Squashed grapes.
I paid the girl. I gave her a kiss.
Dead grapes.
You might not be able to identify it, but she could at least detect magic to find out whether it is magic.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm going to detect magic to find out if it is magic.
You
I knew
have
I could
detect
do that.
magic, do you?
Apparently, I do.
It's a one-a-day job.
Yeah, one a day job.
Ooh.
Is it magic, DM?
It's not.
Hmm.
Is it not? Is it just a shiny?
It's not magic.
It's just a shiny.
Interesting.
It's definitely mine now. How many houses can I buy for that?
Well, I mean, if Poe can if Bartandless can bring us back to life with it, then maybe we should give it to him,
Nah,
or just keep it on our bodies for when we die.
I'm going to do that. Otherwise, you might use it on someone like Ez.
Ezra stood right next to you when you say this.
I was thinking, I didn't say it. Who am I going to
She's
say?
mind reading you. She's now a vampire.
So I will have so you tell me anything you want to do during the day in Discord
Yes.
during the week.
Oh.
I will pick the next session up at a time that I consider to be appropriate.
Okay.
Roger.
Okay.
Excellent. That felt like an unusually paced session for me, but several pieces of pertinent information arose.
DM, it's now 10:30. Can we just stop it there so we actually finish at 10:30 for once? Go. See you later. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye to our viewer.
What? No, that's just you logged into your own channel.
Hey, not anymore. No, I'm not using Stream OBS.
Nice.
Goodbye, everybody.